When dealing with remodels, homeowners and general contractors typically require detailed bids or proposals. This involves itemizing the materials, labor, and other costs associated with the project. A competitive bid ensures fair compensation while meeting customer requirements. For generator sets, a flat-rate pricing strategy is a viable approach. Consider offering different packages with varying levels of service and equipment to cater to different customer needs. When approaching residential service calls, the time and materials approach has pros and cons. Firstly, it can be predictable for customers with a clear idea of what they need. Secondly, it protects profit margins with a set labor rate. However, it can be perceived as unfair if labor goes beyond the initial estimate, and it limits potential earnings for quick jobs. The set price approach also has advantages and disadvantages. Firstly, it offers potentially higher margins than time and materials. Secondly, it reduces homeowner skepticism. However, it can result in losses if the job takes longer than expected. The best approach depends on the nature of the service call and the customer's preferences. For simple repairs with predictable labor times, a set price may be more effective. For more complex issues or jobs with uncertain timeframes, time and materials can provide flexibility and protect profit margins. Homeowners may be initially hesitant about hourly rates. However, clearly explaining labor costs and the benefits of time and materials, such as transparency and flexibility, can alleviate their concerns. Wage burden refers to the additional costs associated with employee salaries. These costs include payroll taxes, health insurance, vacation pay, and other benefits. It typically ranges from 25% to 35% of an employee's gross wages. When calculating labor rates, factor in wage burden to ensure all actual labor costs are covered. Considering the time and materials approach, let's delve into the specifics a bit more. Imagine a situation where a homeowner calls with a flickering light. If you opt for time and materials, you would explain your hourly rate upfront. For example, $75 per hour plus the cost of any materials. You'd also give a rough estimate of how long it might take, perhaps an hour, to diagnose and fix the issue. This approach is transparent, allowing the homeowner to see exactly where their money is going. If the problem is simple, say a loose wire, and you fix it in 30 minutes, the homeowner pays for only that half hour plus the cost of the wire. This can build trust and demonstrate fairness. However, the potential downside is if the flickering light turns out to be a symptom of a more complex problem, like a faulty circuit breaker or wiring issue in the wall. The time to diagnose and repair could extend significantly. Some homeowners might become uneasy seeing the hourly charges accumulate, even if you communicate clearly throughout the process. Now, let's consider the set price approach for the same flickering light scenario. You might offer a flat rate of $125 to diagnose and repair any common lighting issue. This provides certainty for the homeowner. They know the cost upfront, regardless of how long it takes you. If it's a quick fix, you make a good profit for your time. However, if it turns out to be a more complex problem, you're committed to the agreed upon price, even if it takes you several hours. This could lead to you earning less per hour than your target rate, or even losing money on the job if it drags on too long. Furthermore, offering a set price might encourage homeowners to seek multiple estimates. They might call several electricians, comparing prices to find the cheapest option. This can increase competition and potentially drive down profit margins. To effectively use the time and materials approach, thorough communication is key. Before starting any work, clearly explain your hourly rate, how you bill for time, and how materials are priced. Provide a written estimate, even if it's just a rough one, outlining the scope of work and potential costs. As you work, keep the homeowner informed of your progress. If you encounter unexpected issues that will increase the time or cost, explain them immediately and get their approval before proceeding. This helps avoid surprises and maintain a positive relationship. To successfully use the set price approach, it's essential to accurately assess the scope of work before providing a quote. Ask detailed questions to understand the problem. Inspect the area thoroughly. Consider potential complications and factor them into your price. It's also important to have a clear contract that outlines the scope of work, the agreed upon price, and any limitations or exclusions. This protects both you and the homeowner from misunderstandings or disputes. Think about offering different pricing options to cater to different customer preferences. For example, you could offer a standard time and materials rate, a premium time and materials rate for faster service, or a set price for common repairs. This allows homeowners to choose the option that best suits their needs and budget. Also, consider incorporating a trip charge into your pricing structure. This is a fixed fee that covers the cost of traveling to the homeowner's location. It can be applied to both time and materials and set price jobs. A trip charge ensures that you're compensated for your travel time and expenses, regardless of whether you actually perform any work. In addition to labor and materials, remember to factor in overhead costs when calculating your pricing. These include expenses like vehicle maintenance, insurance, advertising, office supplies, and professional fees. Allocate a portion of these costs to each job to ensure that you're covering all of your expenses and making a profit. When it comes to wage burden, consider the specific costs associated with your employees. These can vary depending on your location, the benefits you offer, and the type of work they perform. Common wage burden costs include social security taxes, Medicare taxes, unemployment insurance, workers' compensation insurance, health insurance, retirement contributions, paid time off, and training expenses. To accurately calculate your wage burden, add up all of these costs for each employee and divide it by their gross wages. This will give you a percentage that you can use to factor into your labor rates. For example, if an employee's gross wages are $50,000 per year and their total wage burden costs are $15,000 per year, their wage burden percentage would be 30%. To ensure your profitability, regularly review your pricing and adjust it as needed. Monitor your costs, track your time, and analyze your profit margins. If you find that you're consistently losing money on certain types of jobs, consider raising your prices or changing your approach. Also, stay informed about industry trends and competitor pricing to ensure that you're remaining competitive in the market. When communicating with homeowners, be transparent and upfront about your pricing. Explain your rates clearly and answer any questions they may have. Provide detailed invoices that itemize all charges. Be willing to negotiate and work with customers to find a solution that meets their needs and budget. Building trust and providing excellent customer service can lead to repeat business and positive referrals. In summary, the best pricing strategy for residential service calls depends on several factors, including the nature of the job, the customer's preferences, and your own business goals. By carefully considering the pros and cons of both time and materials and set price approaches, and by accurately calculating your costs and wage burden, you can develop a pricing strategy that is fair, profitable, and sustainable. Furthermore, remember to prioritize communication, transparency, and customer service to build strong relationships and ensure long-term success. Don't be afraid to experiment with different pricing models and to adapt your approach as needed. The key is to find what works best for your business and your customers. Beyond the initial pricing strategy, consider the long-term value of customer relationships. A satisfied customer is more likely to call you again for future work and to recommend you to their friends and family. This is why it's so important to prioritize customer service and to go the extra mile to ensure their satisfaction. This can include things like arriving on time, being polite and professional, cleaning up after yourself, and following up after the job is completed. In addition to providing excellent service, consider offering incentives to encourage repeat business and referrals. This could include discounts for returning customers, referral bonuses, or loyalty programs. These incentives can help you build a strong customer base and generate a steady stream of revenue. Another important aspect of pricing is to consider the value you provide to your customers. You're not just charging for your time and materials, you're also charging for your expertise, your experience, and your ability to solve their problems. Don't be afraid to charge a premium for your services if you're confident that you can deliver exceptional results. However, it's important to be able to justify your pricing and to demonstrate the value you provide to your customers. This could include things like providing detailed explanations of the work you're doing, offering guarantees on your work, and being available to answer questions and address any concerns. Finally, remember that pricing is not a one-time decision. You should regularly review your pricing strategy and adjust it as needed based on changes in your costs, the market, and your business goals. This requires you to stay informed about industry trends, monitor your financial performance, and solicit feedback from your customers. By continuously evaluating and refining your pricing strategy, you can ensure that you're maximizing your profitability and providing the best possible value to your customers. So let's delve a bit further into the specifics of generator set pricing. While a flat rate pricing strategy is often used, there are several factors to consider when determining that flat rate. Firstly, the size and type of generator. A small portable generator for emergency backup will obviously be priced differently than a large, permanently installed generator for whole house or commercial power. Secondly, the complexity of the installation. A simple connection to an existing electrical panel will be less expensive than a new installation that requires running new wiring, installing a transfer switch, and obtaining permits. Thirdly, the cost of materials. The price of the generator itself, as well as wiring, conduit, connectors, and other materials, will impact the overall cost. Fourthly, labor costs. The time it takes to install the generator, including any necessary electrical work, will factor into the price. Fifthly, permitting and inspection fees. Depending on your location, you may need to obtain permits and inspections for the generator installation, which will add to the cost. Sixthly, warranty and maintenance. Offering a warranty on the installation and providing ongoing maintenance services can add value for the customer and justify a high price. Considering all of these factors, you can develop different generator set packages to cater to different customer needs and budgets. For example, you could offer a basic package that includes the generator, installation, and a 1-year warranty. You could also offer a premium package that includes a more powerful generator, a more complex installation, a longer warranty, and ongoing maintenance services. The key is to clearly define what is included in each package and to price them accordingly. When presenting generator set pricing to customers, it's important to be transparent and upfront about all costs. Provide a detailed proposal that itemizes all of the materials, labor, and fees. Explain the benefits of each package and help the customer choose the option that best suits their needs. Be prepared to answer questions and address any concerns. Building trust and providing excellent customer service can lead to sales and referrals. Also, consider offering financing options to make generator sets more affordable for customers. This could include partnering with a lender to offer loans or providing in-house financing options. Financing can make it easier for customers to purchase a generator set and can help you close more sales. In addition to new installations, consider offering generator set repair and maintenance services. This can provide a recurring revenue stream and help you build long-term relationships with your customers. Offer maintenance contracts that include regular inspections, oil changes, and other preventative maintenance tasks. Be available for emergency repairs and provide prompt and reliable service. By providing comprehensive generator set services, you can establish yourself as a trusted expert in the field and attract a loyal customer base. Now, let's shift our focus back to remodels and the importance of detailed bids and proposals. A detailed bid or proposal is a comprehensive document that outlines all of the aspects of a remodeling project, including the scope of work, the materials to be used, the labor costs, the payment schedule, and the terms and conditions. It serves as a legally binding agreement between you and the homeowner and helps to ensure that everyone is on the same page. The scope of work should clearly define what is included in the remodel and what is not. This can include things like demolition, framing, electrical work, plumbing, drywall, painting, flooring, and cabinetry. Be as specific as possible and avoid using vague terms that could be misinterpreted. The materials section should list all of the materials that will be used in the remodel, including the brand, model, and quantity. This allows the homeowner to see exactly what they are paying for and to make informed decisions about their material choices. The labor costs section should break down the costs of labor for each aspect of the remodel. This can include things like demolition, framing, electrical work, plumbing, drywall, painting, flooring, and cabinetry. Be transparent about your hourly rates and the estimated number of hours for each task. The payment schedule should outline when payments will be made and how much each payment will be. A typical payment schedule includes an initial deposit, progress payments at various stages of the project, and a final payment upon completion. The terms and conditions section should outline the legal terms and conditions of the agreement, including things like insurance, permits, change orders, and dispute resolution. It's important to have a clear and concise set of terms and conditions to protect both you and the homeowner. When creating a detailed bid or proposal, it's important to be thorough, accurate, and professional. Take the time to carefully assess the project, gather all of the necessary information, and create a document that is easy to understand and easy to follow. Use clear and concise language and avoid using technical jargon that the homeowner may not understand. Proofread your bid or proposal carefully to ensure that there are no errors or omissions. Present your bid or proposal in a professional manner. Use a clean and organized format and include your company logo and contact information. Schedule a meeting with the homeowner to review the bid or proposal and answer any questions they may have. Be prepared to negotiate and to make adjustments to the bid or proposal as needed. Building trust and establishing a good rapport with the homeowner can increase your chances of winning the project. In addition to a detailed bid or proposal, it's also important to have a written contract that outlines the terms of the remodel. The contract should include all of the information from the bid or proposal, as well as any additional terms and conditions that you and the homeowner agree upon. The contract should be signed by both you and the homeowner and should be kept on file for future reference. A written contract provides legal protection for both you and the homeowner and helps to prevent misunderstandings or disputes. Before starting any remodeling work, make sure that you have all of the necessary permits and insurance. Permits are required for many types of remodeling projects and ensure that the work is done safely and according to code. Insurance protects you from liability in case of accidents or injuries on the job site. Make sure that you have adequate insurance coverage before starting any work. Throughout the remodeling process, maintain open communication with the homeowner. Keep them informed of your progress, address any concerns they may have, and be responsive to their requests. Building a strong relationship with the homeowner can lead to repeat business and positive referrals. Finally, remember that remodeling is a service industry. Your goal is to provide excellent service to your customers and to help them create the home of their dreams. By providing high-quality workmanship, using quality materials, and communicating effectively, you can build a successful remodeling business. Let's go back a bit and talk about the importance of clear communication regarding hourly charges with the time and materials approach. It all starts with setting expectations early. Before you even begin any diagnostic work, explain your hourly rate clearly and concisely. Don't just state the number, but also clarify what that rate covers. Does it include travel time? Is there a minimum charge? Are there different rates for different types of work, such as emergency calls or work performed outside of regular business hours? Be upfront about all of these details to avoid any surprises later on. Provide a written estimate, even if it's a rough one. This estimate should outline the scope of the work, the estimated number of hours, and the total estimated cost. Make it clear that this is just an estimate and that the actual cost may vary depending on the complexity of the problem. However, providing an estimate gives the homeowner a general idea of what to expect and helps them to budget accordingly. As you work, keep the homeowner informed of your progress. If you encounter any unexpected problems or if the work is taking longer than expected, explain the situation clearly and get their approval before proceeding. Don't just keep working and then surprise them with a higher bill later on. Communication is key to maintaining trust and avoiding disputes. Be transparent about how you bill for time. Do you bill in 15-minute increments, 30-minute increments, or hourly increments? How do you track your time? Do you use a time tracking app or do you manually record your time? Be open and honest about your billing practices and be willing to answer any questions the homeowner may have. Provide a detailed invoice that itemizes all charges. The invoice should include the date of service, the description of the work performed, the number of hours worked, the hourly rate, the cost of materials, and the total amount due. Make sure that the invoice is clear, concise, and easy to understand. Be available to answer questions about the invoice and to resolve any disputes promptly. Be willing to negotiate and to work with customers to find a solution that meets their needs and budget. Sometimes homeowners may be hesitant to pay the full amount of the invoice, especially if they feel that the work took longer than expected or that the charges were too high. Be willing to listen to their concerns and to negotiate a fair price. Remember, the goal is to build a long-term relationship with the customer, not to squeeze every last penny out of them. Finally, document everything. Keep detailed records of all communication with the homeowner, all work performed, and all materials used. This documentation can be invaluable in case of disputes or legal issues. By following these tips, you can effectively use the time and materials approach while maintaining transparency, building trust, and avoiding disputes with your customers.